Now you're looking at how to graph a linear equation with the slope-intercept form. We just reviewed how to indicate, how to find the slope and y-intercept in the equation. Now we're going to see how those two numbers can help us graph the line, graph the equation. Right, let's take a look. Now, we just look at this equation. Let's say you have y equals 2x plus 3. Now, review quickly. Which one is the slope? You're right, 2. Which one is the y-intercept? You're right again, 3. Now, how do you start? If you look at the name, slope-intercept form, this number represents y-intercept. That means that is the point where the graph, your graph, to be, you are going to have a graph, a line, where this line will intersect with the y-axis. This is the y, this is the x. Y, x. Y, x. Make sense? So, since this means 3, which is the y-intercept, so I would like to see where the 3 is on the y-axis. So if you, in the future, when you learn x-intercept, that will be where the graph intersects with the x-axis. So 3 means y-intercept, so I just put a dot on 3 on y-axis. Next, we are going to use the slope to find the second point, because we know it takes at least 2 points to graph a straight line. We already have one, so we need to find the second one. And the slope, 2 in this case, will help us. How do you find the second point? By using the slope. We know slope means rise over run. Rise over run. So, up 2 is the rise. Over 1, that's your second point. Next, all you need to do is just connect them. See that? That's your slope. I bet. That's your line. Simple. I'm going to give you another example so you see, oh, this is so easy. You can do it. Let's find out this equation. Let's say, what if the slope is negative? Y equals negative 2 over 3 x, say, minus 5. Okay. Now, after you see this equation, slope-intercept form. What is the slope? Exactly, negative 2 over 3, because that's the number right before the variable x. And the number without the x, which is the constant, negative 5 is the y-intercept. And you always start with the y-intercept, and you don't choose the negative 5 on x-axis. You choose the negative 5 on y-axis. Yeah, anyway, negative 5 is here. And remember, next point, you need to use slope to help you find it. So, slope is negative 2 over 3, which slope means rise over run. So you start with the y-intercept, go down 2 over 1, 2, 3. Now, since we don't have space here, doesn't mean you cannot do it. It's just you'll be out. So you go instead, you go up 2 over 3. Then connect them. That's your graph. Simple, right? Okay. Now, if I change it to one more practice, negative 1 over 4 plus 5. Now, where do we start? Negative 5? No. Positive 5? Yes, because that's the y-intercept. So you start at this one, and your slope is negative 1 over 4, which means you go from the y-intercept down 1, because that is the y change. Down 1, don't make any dot yet, because you still have another direction to go. 4, positive, so go up and go to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you have 2 points, and just connect them. That's your graph. I believe you already learned it. I believe you already learned it. So all you need to do is just finish the practice, about 15 questions. Show me the answer, show me the process, so I know you're ready to take the quiz. And you are done with today's lesson. So today you learned 2 things. One is to identify the slope and y-intercept in a linear equation, and then you use those 2 numbers to help you graph. Do your best.